Welcome. Today we want to talk about four easy ways to network naturally.
Yeah. And I think naturally is the key
It is.
because I don't know anybody who loves networking. I know people who love being a connector for someone else,
Yep.
but doing it themselves can feel like, I don't know, robotic, or it can feel a little inauthentic. And so,
Or just icky.
yes.
I mean, even the best salesperson can be great about selling a product or a service, but when they're selling themselves, it can be a lot harder.
Yes.
Right. So these are some natural ways to do it that don't require a whole lot of planning and are easily accessible for you.
So the first place to start is always with a safe place. And that's to start with family, right? People you know well.
Yep. And when you think of family, extended family, so siblings, in-laws, parents, if you have parents that have been recently in the workforce, we want you to think big here, and we want you to not overlook the obvious. Because I remember that one student we had in our course a couple of years ago, who had been spending the last 6 weeks preparing for a pivot into customer success. And at the Thanksgiving table, she found out that her sister-in-law worked in customer success. She hadn't thought of bringing it up. So making sure that the people around you, even if they're working in different fields, your sister-in-law, who's a preschool teacher, can still help you get a job in corporate law because her neighbor or her college roommate may work in that field. So we're not just looking at what does that person in my family do?
Right.
It's who do they know? And the thing about family is no one wants to help you more than your family. So make sure you reach out to them, let them know what you do, what you're looking to do, how they can help you, and then be really free in asking for that help.
And something that falls under this umbrella is a group that gets overlooked are your young adult children, because many of you in our audience have young adult children who are out there and they are currently working. And, they may have colleagues, they may have different college, their college roommates.
That's right.
So that often gets overlooked. I think.
And we've had a student who got her job at Google through her son who was working there, and she'd been out of work for 26 years, but he was able to find someone in the department where she had expertise and just to bring her resume. And you need to remember this too, especially when the market is tight as it is right now, and will probably be for a while, that every job posting is getting that many more responses. So if it was 500 to 1,000, now it's 2,000 to 3,000.
Right.
If you come to me with Kelly Biskubiak's resume and say, I know Kelly, she's my friend's college roommate, or she's my neighbor, that puts Kelly way ahead of anybody else, because at least I know she's a real human being that somebody knows, somebody that I trust knows. So make sure that you start with the people closest to you and don't overlook them.
Right. So here's another natural way. It's just be social. Get yourself out there. I think COVID really sucked this out of a lot of us.
Yeah, we got kind of comfy in slippers.
As extroverts of the world, we're looking for ways to connect. But really, I mean, I even feel with my own self, and I'm not sure if you feel, it's like there was a period of time where you had to like push yourself.
Yeah, because it was comfy sitting behind a screen and not having to go anywhere. Yeah.
Right.
So yes, so to your point, if you're somebody who's naturally social, this is a little bit easier. But being social can be achieved in many different ways. So yes, go to a party, join a book club, participate in a running group, or join an exercise class. Places where you're just intersecting with other people.
Well, if you're standing at the bus stop or on the sidelines of soccer, rather than just sitting there with your coffee in your hand,
by yourself,
be social, connect with other people.
And challenge yourself. So the challenge first is that when you're in the job seeking doldrums, and everybody's there if you're there for more than a couple of months, it's hard to want to get outside of yourself.
Absolutely.
By forcing yourself to do these social things, even the really easy ones like Kelly suggested, like talking to the person next to you on the stands at your kid's game. It is energizing. Socialization is part of human health. And then, of course, it's an opportunity to give someone your elevator pitch, to start by asking them about what they do. It's a very natural conversation to ask someone, what do you do?
Yes.
And then usually they reciprocate. And that's when you can open up with your elevator pitch. And, depending on how the conversation goes, it could be an opportunity for you to reach back to them later. Something may happen. We have that one, and she was literally talking to someone on the sidelines. She'd been out of work for a while. She got her job by speaking to him to work with him.
Right.
And she had also had a fairly, she was pivoting, and it was a short resume gap as well.
Right.
So being social, you're not going to get a job by applying online. If you've watched anything we've done, that's not going to work for you. You have to network. And by moving in these really easy places with your family, with the other parents on the sidelines, with someone at your faith institution.
Yeah.
These are great ways to start building your confidence in networking.
And I think the other thing, Susan, that we should probably hit on is some of the struggle in networking comes from just feeling like you're reaching out to people, feeling like you're asking people for something. And you have to push past that, because it was so interesting. This last week, we were on our calls with our students that are currently in our career relaunch course. And we were talking specifically about, people struggling with that ask, with that, I want to connect with this person, and that people are really busy and people have a lot going on, and that felt really strange and weird to them. And, when you flip that on their heads and you say, well, would you do it for someone else?
Exactly. We ask that every single time. There isn't anyone out who's watching this who, if an old colleague, old friend, or a family member said to them, hey, I'm looking to talk to people to get a little bit of help on my job search. Do you have 10 minutes? You're not going to say no.
No.
People aren't going to say no to you either.
Exactly.
And most people, virtually all people in the course of their career, will have been in those shoes before.
And right now more than ever.
Yeah, sadly.
Yep. So really, if we can all support and help each other and come at it from that perspective, that I am looking through the lens of, I'm looking at the landscape of my life and the people that are in my life for support and help. Like, that's what we need right now. And that might be what you need sitting there today. So don't hold yourself back from that. Okay. The next one is to attend free educational events.
So there's a lot in that category, right? Start, again, the easy stuff and the free stuff. Don't go spending money when you're not employed. And don't go grabbing certificates and licenses kind of haphazardly until you know that the job that you want requires them. In many cases, if there's a skill set you need to learn, you'll either be taught on the job at work, although they will pay for you to get that training. But there's a lot of free content out there. So if you look at continuing education in your town or your county, look at library events. So whenever there is a job market stall like we have right now, we've got companies not sure how things are going to go. We've hiring freezes. We have just kind of like general paralysis. You're going to see all kinds of job hunting events pop up. There'll be some at your local library. It might be that you're going to large industry specific events. Maybe it's a seminar. Maybe it's a job fair. Maybe it's a webinar you're doing. Regardless of where you are, these are people who work in industry and or are looking for jobs. Sometimes it's easier for you to help someone else get a job than it is for you to help yourself. So these are opportunities, again, that don't cost money, where you're around people. And one of the tips that we like to teach is don't try to dive deep at an event where there are a lot of people around. That's not appropriate. Get the basic, hi, what's your name? Maybe find out a little bit about them. But then either on your phone or on a little notebook kind of clandestinely packed in your pocket, write down the names of the people that you meet at any of these events, whether they're live or digital. And then afterwards, follow up with a thoughtful LinkedIn connection request. Kelly, I really loved meeting you at that job fair. I thought that speaker was really great. And I enjoyed learning a little bit about you. Let's connect. And then after the connection is made, then ask for a meeting.
Yes. And we have an entire recording, a video specifically around job fairs and what to do at a job fair. So you can take a look on the rest of our YouTube page and see if you can find
And you heard me mention that idea of connecting first and then messaging to meet. We have a whole template on that as well, also here on our channel.
Okay, so the last one, so we talked about the younger, but to expand the age of your audience and don't age discriminate.
And we do it all the time. So like to your example earlier, we rule out anybody who's younger than us because they're too low level. You don't need to network with people at your level. Generally speaking, if you can network with people above you, that's ideal. So as a result, most people are trying to network with 40 and 50-year-olds, maybe 60-year-olds who are in those positions of power, who are the business owners, the business leaders, the hiring managers, etc. And they are a great population if you can get them. But they're also the busiest based on the demands of their work. So they're the least accessible. And if you do access them, they're the least available. On the other hand, retirees, especially recent ones, have a lot of time and a lot of contacts. They have as many contacts as the person who's still in the thick of it.
And they may have a lot of credibility because of the years of service that they put in. You know, they may be beloved to the people that they left.
And they're also will welcome an opportunity for networking, because the hardest thing, I've been watching this play out with some of my friends, when you leave a big job and now you're, pursuing your hobbies and volunteering, whatever, there's still part of you that misses the challenge and the excitement of being in the thick of it, of driving a bottom line, of pushing a product or whatever it is. So in the best case scenario, I think in general, the general scenario is most retirees will welcome the conversation. But in the best scenario, they're going to look at you as a project, as a challenge that they want to meet, to kind of get that same excitement of seeing something through. So you're going to get a mentor, and you're going to get someone who's really excited to push for you and to welcome future meetings, not just limit you to that 10 minutes and then move on. Right?
Yes.
So you've got the retirees, you've got the younger people, as mentioned earlier. Don't just stick in that middle slot. You're limiting yourself way too much, and many times at your own peril. So
it's a rare person that loves to network. We know this really well, but by integrating all of these things that we've talked to you about today, you're really going to feel more natural, and it's going to feel more authentic, and that's going to make you probably more memorable.
Exactly. And you're going to get more out of the networking when you apply these strategies.
Yes. So there you have it. You can learn more about us and our programming at www.preparetolaunchu.com. Thanks.